Oh, hello there. It's me, Tanif, from Tanif's Thought of the Day. Hopefully, this is my second take, and hopefully, this one will actually be decent because it's a little bit windy out here. I put the dead cat on the microphone. The first take ended up with just destroyed audio, so have to redo this. I thought I would go outside because it's such a beautiful day out here, and I wanted to enjoy the weather while I could before it gets way too hot and muggy and humid as we do here in Florida. So anyway, I thought I would share with you my thoughts on a new experience that I've had as of late, which is driving in Florida. I have lived in a few other places in the United States, and driving in Florida is definitely a different experience compared to those other places. And some of these differences that I've noticed, some of them are pros and some of them are cons. So there's no particular order, and these are just my thoughts. So I hope you enjoy. If you are someone who is thinking about coming to America to either live or to visit, and coming to visit Florida in particular, did I say that right? Whatever. Anyway, I meant if you're coming from abroad to the United States for a vacation. You know, me and my brain. Anyway, so if you're coming here, there's some things that you should know besides the fact that we drive on the right side of the road. In Florida, we are very, very particular about people having correct documentation. They're very, very strict on that. If you are an American citizen, they require you to prove that and have the correct documentation, which is something that I appreciate because I've used to live on the left coast, if you know what I mean, and they're not like that. And I could tell you horror story after horror story of the many collisions, well, not collisions, but close calls especially, of car accidents and different things that I've had the displeasure of dealing with. And it's awful. It's not fun, and it's, you know, to even just to try and walk across the street in some places in California can be really, really scary. But here in Florida, they're very particular about people having the correct documentation, so that's important. Also, you should know that people don't always use their blinker. I personally am a stickler because I don't want someone to say, oh, well, I didn't know you were coming. I mean, I want to make sure that I am in the clear, because some people around here really do not know how to drive. Make sure that you give people, you know, some good space behind them. Make sure that there's some space in front of you and behind you, because people are weaving in and out of traffic constantly. In some parts of Florida, it's even worse than others. I think in more rural areas, it's not quite so bad, because people are really, really friendly. That's one thing that you will definitely find here in Florida, that people are very friendly, and for the most part, they're very accommodating. But just be careful about that. In some places, you know, some people are very much, they have a tendency to, let's see if I can put this in a way that is not too crude. Now I'm only thinking of the crude ways of saying it. They have a tendency to tailgate, and it's really frustrating. It's not fun, and they think that they can just... Okay, where was I? I had to go turn the air conditioner off. So yeah, they have a tendency to tailgate. I don't really know what to say about that. Like, try and stay if you're going the speed limit or slower. I even have gone over the speed limit and I still get tailgated. So just be aware of that. I would stay in the right lane because, contrary to what some people think, the left lane is for passing, and they think they just mean that means speeding. No, it's for passing. You're supposed to accelerate and then get back into the right lane. People don't do that though. It's really frustrating. Anyway, so we have these things. Another point I should make. We have these things for our medians. Instead of there being a concrete barrier, they're just painted in the middle of the road. Be careful when you are entering or exiting these. There have been many times where I'm always using my blinker. I'm always trying to pay attention to what's going on in front of me, behind me, next to me. Pay attention to that. Because there have been multiple occasions where I am going to go make a turn and I have someone coming straight at me. And there was one instance where a person wasn't paying attention. They were wanting to make a turn behind me into a driveway, and I was going into that lane in order to go into a turn lane, into a left turn lane, and they didn't use their blinker going into that lane, and then they saw me right there and they went to go back into traffic, didn't use their blinker again, and they almost had a collision. So please be careful of that, be aware of that. Be aware of the state of traffic around you, because I can't really say about anywhere else. I live kind of on the east central part of Florida, and yeah, shut up. It's not about you. Anyway, ignore the birds. Anyway, people, yeah. So just be aware of that. People have a tendency to kind of, there's a lot of traffic in the more populated areas. So again, be aware of that. So that's one of the things. One of the things I will tell you also, be careful when you're going on the freeways. The main highways in Florida, I don't know what all of them are. I know one of them is 95. People have a tendency, which I will not say what region of the country those people are from, but those of us in Florida, we know who they are. Anyway, so going on 95, be careful. Again, leave a good cushion of space between, the person in front of you and the person behind you, as well as your sides, because people will just speed, 80, 90, 100 miles plus on the freeway with only like an inch of space between them and the person in front of them. And it can be a little bit, disconcerting. I personally, I don't drive terribly slow. I try to at least go the speed limit, if not over it. But you never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen. Someone could lose a tire. Debris could fall off of a truck. Truck could collide with something, or someone else could collide with something. You don't know what's going to happen. And so it makes no sense to me that somebody would go and drive basically like a maniac and not think about what did I mention it's beautiful out here? Yeah. I hope my audio isn't fucked up. Anyway, so just be aware of that. People have a tendency on the freeways to drive like maniacs. The other thing that you should be aware of, we have a lot, and I mean a lot, of toll roads. You can sign up for our toll passes if you want to. I think one of them is called the Sun Pass. I'm not sure which other ones there are. I have found, depending on how long you're going to be in Florida, what regions you're going to be visiting, and how often you're going to be using those toll roads, we have found them to be not that expensive if you're just going to be on the toll road a couple of times. It was like $3, I think, for the times that we've used it. So, just be aware of that so you don't get a bill in the mail going, what is this? Yeah, because they will hunt you down. Anyway, so those are my thoughts on driving in Florida. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope my audio isn't completely destroyed. I've put the dead cat on my microphone. Let's pray that it works. And I would greatly appreciate it if you'd give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe, I would love you joining me on this journey. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.